Earlier this year, I went to visit my brother in Australia, and we headed down to Tasmania for a couple of weeks of packrafting. And we didn't set out to make a movie or anything, but we did grab a bunch of clips filmed on our phones as we went. And I've stuck them all together to make this little movie. So enjoy. We started off on Lake Pedder because we arrived down in southwest Tasmania, a very remote place, and the weather was fantastic. A big high pressure system set in. So we decided to make the most of the calm conditions, and we paddled out for 3 days on the lake, camping on the islands and climbing some of the mountains that were up on those islands. Here we are in the middle of Lake Pedder. That's the Franklin Range over there. There's Pete packrafting. And this is an island that we're going around today that has Mount Solitary on the top. So this is the far side of Solitary Peak, Mount Solitary, and we've decided to turn around because the wind's really picked up in the last half an hour, and making progress against it is nigh on impossible in the packrafts. So we're going to scoot back the way we came. So the longest open water crossing we did was about 2.5 miles between these islands. It felt pretty intimidating being so far from shore, especially as the wind did blow up and create quite choppy conditions. But we had leashes, we had PFDs, we had dry suits on, and a solid plan for our route, so we felt safe. We then landed on Scott's Peak and climbed up Scott's Peak the next day. Hello, we're climbing up Scott's Peak here, and it's hard going. There's no trail at all, but the views are spectacular. So Scott's Peak is an island, and we're climbing to the highest point. We're here. There's Pete on the summit of Scott's Peak, and look at this spectacular view of Lake Pedder, and that's Mount Solitary where we camped and climbed yesterday. There is Pete, specimen. There's the sun, and some grass and green stuff and nature and things, and it's totally awesome. Our campsite on Scott's Peak Island was one of the best wild camps either of us have ever had. The views were spectacular. We were sheltered from the winds by all the trees, and there was not a trace of any other humans or anything even man-made anywhere on the horizon. Just absolutely fabulous place. So fantastic nights camped there, and then next morning we paddled back across the lake back to Scott's Dam where the car was waiting for us. Next up was the main dish, which was our descent of the Huon River. And this was really exciting because we were going to get super remote down the Huon River into the Huon Gorge, get to do some whitewater paddling. So we set off with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. So we are setting off on our Huon River expedition. We have pack rafts and all the river gear, and bloody hell, the bags are heavy. We've got 8 days of food. So we just left the car about an hour ago. There's Pete coming behind me, and so far we're on a really good track. But we're not expecting that to last forever, so we're just enjoying it whilst we can. But yeah, really exciting to be heading off on this expedition despite the gargantuan bags. There's Pete walking towards the Arthurs, and this is the sort of terrain that we've been going through all day. Actually, this is much better than most of the terrain we've been going through all day, which has just been giant mudfest after giant mudfest. So hard, challenging work, exactly what we came for. That was Pete demonstrating the PFD flip. Go for it. Old man noise. The healing power of tea. We've just arrived at Junction Creek, set up camp, drying a bit of stuff, just having a brewski. There's my feet. Drying those out. We've just been through endless amounts of mud today, so yeah. What else to tell you? Pretty tired, pretty big first day. We're going to do the bash down to the river in the morning. Sorry, excuse me, wiping my nose there, just running a bit in the cold. And then we'll hopefully be on the Huon by mid to late morning-ish, maybe. Middle of the day at the latest, hopefully. But we'll see how we go. Yep, ciao. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a southwest Tasmanian leech. Gotta love those bad boys. Look, you can see his little tail looking around for human skin. And yeah, these suckers are everywhere in the moist, damp conditions of southwest Tas. So Ben, what are we doing?
Trying to get to the Huon River.
So we're whacking it across.
Bags are very heavy.
Yeah, bags are very heavy, but we're whacking it across all this button grass. And we think awesome. Over Ben's head, somewhere over that next ridge, we've got the Huon River. So we're just going to see how we go. This is off-trail travel in Tasmania. We are trying to get down to the Huon River, which is somewhere over yonder. And this is where we've come from. That's the Arthur's Mountain Range, and we camped kind of in a gap over there. And today's menu is a good old bash through this thick scrub. And basically, it's all a big puzzle. You've got to just figure it out. The easiest line, and that's all the part of the game. It's why we come here to do it. It's a lot of fun. We decided to turn back from our attempt to reach the Huon River before, because we came across these real thickets that are a bit like this, except there was no path. So we didn't have the luxury of this path that you can see here going through the woods. So we decided to turn back and look for a different place. But this is the path now through the vegetation. As you can see, someone's recently come through and trimmed it and made this nice clear path for us. I'll just show you what we're following. As you can see, nice wide path, very easy to get through. And because we're taking such light bags with us, we are just bounding across these patches of mud. And here we are now, it's opened out a little bit. So anyway, we've decided that we're going to continue on the track for a while and join the river a little bit lower down, because the bush was just too thick to get through to reach the Huon River at the moment. So we'll probably skip about 6k of pack rafting and change that for 6k of walking. But the aim is still to get to the river tonight, if we can.
Holy shit, and this feels like real wilderness.
It is. Howdy, bro.
Hey.
Having fun?
Yep, as I just said, this is the sort of shit I love.
Yeah, baby.
It's really getting to be, pretending to be Indiana Jones.
Exactly. Exactly.
You good?
Yep.
You good?
Go on, move up there.
Come for a walk in Tasmania, they said. It'll be lovely. Oh. Sorry. I've got a load of prickly stuff, man.
There he is. The monster emerges. So look at this stunning old growth section of forest that we're walking through. And it's amazing. It's like being on the set of Jurassic Park.
Combined with Lord of the Rings.
Old man moss everywhere.
Yeah.
And there's actually a decent path for a change. So progress is pretty good. So these are the really fun sections. Well, we arrived at camp. Really tired, completely beat up. And an amazing day. And just this absolutely beautiful campsite. Nice flat pad for the tent. The river is just down there to get water tonight. We've got built-in drying rack for all our gear. And the sun is shining. And then tomorrow, I'll show you where we're going to start tomorrow. Here is 7 Mile Creek in all its glory. And we're going to just travel down that to get to the Huon River because the vegetation is so thick. So tomorrow, the packrafting adventure begins. Oh my gosh, I'm so tired now. Ready for dinner, and I'll lie down.
So here we are, heading down 7 Mile Creek.
Yeah,
and it's been incredible so far. But looking ahead, yep, we have got our first major river blockage. Just try and turn, sorry. First major river blockage. All this down strainer stuff here, so we're going to have to work out how to get the raft up and over that, which is going to be a lot of fun. All right, see you on the other side, hopefully. This is insane.
So we made it to the Huon River. Here it is. We came down 7 Mile Creek there. And there's Pete in the background. Totally wild place. And it's really fun. Really, really fun to be on the pack rafts. Yahoo! Whoa! Good morning. It's a lovely, warm, misty, cloudy morning. This is the forest where we camped last night. The river is down there, and I'm going to show you the route down to the river, our commute. So there's camp. A few things out drying, although nothing dries when it's this wet. Everything is damp now. It's our trash bag, and there's my tree, the queue. This dead tree is our queue for where we can get down to the river. So here's the river down there, and here's Pete. And I'll let Pete come up and show us the route because I need to stop filming here to get down this steep bank.
What happened? Oh my god, what happened?
It fell out and bounced and landed on there as I caught it. So we've decided to portage around this feature here because that kind of just looks really nasty at the bottom there, where you could get caught up against those rocks. Definitely out of our league. So we're floating this pool here, going to drop them down into the next little pool, and then jump back in, and then we'll be able to paddle on down there where it's flat again in the gorge. So we're off the river. There it is, somewhere down there, and it's been a total beast to get these two absurdly heavy bags to this point.
Carrying fridges through the bush.
Oh gosh, we're absolutely beat. It's taken us an hour and a half
To get
from the river,
to get from there to
here with all the packrafts wrapped up and stowed in these bags. I mean, most of that time was packing.
You need to have lunch as well, I suppose.
And we did have lunch,
Yeah.
so, but there's Pete. Sun's out, guns out.
Yeah, boy.
And now we're luckily we found the path. Look, there it is.
Yeah, just right up here.
Just straight through there. So hopefully it's only about 100 feet that way. Otherwise, we've made a gross error of judgment, and we're in big doo-doo. See you later. Howdy, folks.
Howdy.
What's going on, Pete?
So we are sort of in a bit of scrub here, I would say. It's fair to say, a bit of thick scrub. But this was apparently meant to be the Huon track, and the Huon track was going to lead us to the Arthur Plains track, and the Arthur Plains track would lead us back eventually to the car.
What is the path like?
The path is, well, it's just non-existent, really. I mean, we think we might have found a tiny trace of it, but it's pretty non-existent, and
Yeah, we
it's
keep
just going to be very hard
Getting these
to-
little traces, and then
and it
these
kind of
massive
disappears
blowdowns of trees that make progress absolutely impossible. You
Yeah.
totally lose any sense of the trail again. And we probably spent an hour going about 100 meters, right?
Yeah, exactly. And so
We've come up with plan B.
plan B then is, as frustrating as it's going to be just to undo what we just did, is to actually head back down the little hill and the bushwhack that we just did, back towards the river, and make for the river's edge, get the rafts back out, get back in the rafts, but then actually do 3 days more paddling, which will be great fun, hopefully, on the just class 1, 2 stuff, but manageable, all the way to Huonville, and then
Yeah, then
from
we'll
there
get back.
we'll be back in civilization.
Well,
We
we'll-
can make
yeah,
plans
we'll-
to just get a
we'll,
transfer or a taxi back to.
Get some kind of taxi then back to the car, because it's at the very opposite end of the trail. But this just is, we've seen enough of this now to know that it's not going to go. Getting back on the river was absolutely the right choice. Instead of slogging through the forest with enormously heavy bags, we were having fun paddling through the whitewater and enjoying the beautiful scenery of the river. Ready?
Ready.
It's the rebirth. So this is the end of day 5 on the Huon River expedition, and there is the lovely river behind me. and we found this amazing, beautiful gravel bar. And we're going to camp up in the trees just behind there. There's a nice, reasonably flat spot. But yeah, this is all of our stuff, just a bit of a gear explosion to try and dry stuff out. It was all a bit wet from the dew last night, but another fantastic day. Pretty tired in case you can't tell, so we're going to get a brew on and then dinner. And yeah, excellent day. We've got one more day tomorrow down to Huonville, hopefully, possibly two. We'll see how we go. The highlight of the day, one of the highlights of the day, is the morning cappuccino.
Not the Huon River or the
No.
beautiful gorge. Or
We came all this way
temperate rainforest.
to
Packeted cappuccino.
sleep on the floor and be wet and miserable and uncomfortable just to drink these out the packet cappuccinos.
Hey, look at
That's
that foam
the
there.
highlight.
Look at that foam
Look
level.
at the foam.
That is decent foam. Foamage is high.
They look legit. They taste legit. Good morning from the Huon River. Look at that absolutely gorgeous, sublime colours this morning. We got an early start because we have quite a long way to go today to Huonville. We've got a little bit of rain at last, and this is more typical Tassie weather, I think. But we're in dry suits, so all good. All right, better get on with the paddling. Last few paddle strokes on the Huon. Down there's the bridge we're headed to, where we're going to take out, and that will be the end of the paddling on this river. Fabulous, 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 fabulous trip. Cheers, bro. Great trip. Already looking forward to the next one.